Summer 1943, Camp Crossville, Tennessee. The brown, fizzing liquid inside the glass bottle mesmerized the German soldier who had never seen anything like it. After 2 years fighting in North Africa, surviving on hard biscuits and ersatz coffee, this sweet carbonated drink called Coca-Cola represented an impossibility made real. It cost 5 cents at the camp canteen, the same price guards said American children paid with their allowances. Across American prison camps that summer, 371,183 German POWs confronted a reality that contradicted everything Nazi propaganda had taught them about American weakness. They discovered a nation where ice cream was a routine dessert, where soft drinks were everyday beverages, and where candy bars were so common that guards gave them away. These simple foods, treats that most German children had never tasted, would dismantle Nazi ideology more effectively than any propaganda program. The mathematics of abundance were written in sugar and carbonation, in chocolate and ice cream, revealing an American industrial capacity that made German deprivation appear not as noble sacrifice, but as needless suffering. What began as amazement at American confections evolved into a complete psychological transformation. At the desert's end, the Afrika Korps' surrender in Tunisia in May 1943 brought approximately 250,000 German and Italian soldiers into Allied captivity. These veteran desert fighters, who had pushed the British back to Egypt under Rommel's leadership, expected harsh treatment. Nazi propaganda had prepared them for American brutality and starvation. Instead, within hours of surrender, they encountered American K rations. These rations, which American soldiers routinely complained about, contained treasures: crackers, processed cheese, candy, fruit bars, instant coffee, sugar tablets, and cigarettes. German soldiers who had survived on minimal rations for months treated these emergency meals as feasts. At processing camps in North Africa, the U.S. Army served pancakes with syrup, fresh eggs, and milk, foods that had vanished from German military diets years earlier. Feeding the enemy superior food began immediately, though its psychological impact would not be understood until later. A German officer later testified to the International Red Cross, "We expected to be starved as prisoners. Instead, the Americans fed us better than our own army had. This confusion about American resources began our education." Crossing the Atlantic, First Lessons in Abundance. The Liberty ships carrying POWs across the Atlantic provided intensive education in American abundance. These vessels, mass-produced at unprecedented speed, one completed every 42 hours at peak, transported up to 30,000 prisoners monthly. Naval records show prisoner rations matched or exceeded standard crew provisions: 3,500 calories daily, fresh bread, meat and vegetables, coffee with sugar and milk. Shipboard refrigeration, standard on American vessels, kept fresh food available throughout the 2-week voyage. Remarkably, ice cream was served on multiple crossings. The USS General M.B. Stewart logged ice cream served to prisoners on July 4, 1943, using its onboard ice cream machine that produced 10 gallons per batch. For men who had not seen ice cream since before the war, eating it in the middle of the Atlantic defied understanding. Arrival in America, a nation. Nazi propaganda said didn't exist. At Norfolk and Newport News, German POWs encountered a level of abundance that Nazi propaganda had described as fiction. The Norfolk Naval Base, spanning 4,300 acres with vast waterfront facilities, handled more daily cargo than major German ports managed weekly. At dockside exchanges, prisoners saw shelves stocked with candy bars from Hershey, Mars, and Nestle, sold at 5 cents, the same price across America. Traveling inland, the shock deepens transport into the interior took place in passenger coaches, not cattle cars. Dining cars served full meals. Menus from July 1943 listed fried chicken, vegetables, pie, and coffee. Standard American rail service, not special treatment. The prison camps, comfort beyond imagination. Prison camps exceeded Geneva Convention requirements. Camp Crossville, Tennessee, typical of large facilities, included electric lighting, hot water, flush toilets, heated barracks, and recreation areas. But it was the camp exchanges, PX stores, that delivered the greatest psychological shock. Quartermaster records show they stocked Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, RC Cola, candy bars of multiple brands, ice cream where refrigeration allowed, cigarettes and tobacco, fresh fruit, snacks, 3.2% beer. Prisoners earned 80 cents per day, later raised to 1. With candy bars and Coca-Cola at 5 cents each, one day's wage bought 16 items, abundance unimaginable in wartime Germany. Coca-Cola, democracy in a bottle. Coca-Cola became the symbol of American industrial democracy. Company records show 5 billion bottles produced in 1943 alone. POWs discovered that Coca-Cola tasted identical everywhere, a level of quality control beyond anything achieved in German industry. Deliveries arrived weekly in many camps, 200 or 300 cases at a time. Camp Hearn, Texas, consumed about 7,000 bottles weekly during summer 1943. Ice cream, the impossible. Luxury ice cream, almost forgotten in Germany, appeared regularly in American camps. Army records confirmed that in camps with adequate refrigeration, ice cream was served weekly during summer months. The U.S. military considered ice cream a morale essential, so essential that it built specialized ice cream ships for the Pacific Fleet. By 1944, many camps had electric ice cream makers. Flavors included chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, and butter pecan, more variety than German ice cream parlors offered before the war. Prisoners could buy ice cream bars, 10 cents, ice cream sandwiches, 10 cents, cups of various flavors. Large camps ordered 50-100 gallons weekly during summer. Sugar, a revelation. Sugar delivered one of the most powerful psychological impacts. In Germany, sugar was strictly rationed, 280 grams monthly when available. In American camps, sugar sat in bowls on dining tables for unlimited use. Camps received 100-pound bags weekly. Bakeries used sugar liberally. Cakes, cookies, and pies appeared regularly. One incident from Camp Aliceville, Alabama, illustrates the contrast. Hundreds of pounds of hardened sugar were discarded rather than salvaged. German prisoners were horrified at the waste. Chocolate, democratic abundance. The military alone purchased 380 million pounds of chocolate during the war. Camp exchanges stocked numerous varieties: standard Hershey bars, military emergency chocolate, candy bars of all kinds. Red Cross parcels contained chocolate routinely, luxuries far beyond the reach of German civilians. Thanksgiving and Christmas, American generosity. Thanksgiving 1943 introduced prisoners to an American holiday of national abundance. Camps served traditional turkey dinners identical to those given to U.S. soldiers. Christmas brought unexpected generosity. Church groups, civic organizations, and ordinary Americans sent tens of thousands of gift packages to German POWs containing homemade cookies, candy, games, toiletries, and books. This kindness toward enemies undermined Nazi ideology at its core. The work details, first-hand witness to American plenty. By 1944, about 100,000 POWs worked in American agriculture and food processing. They witnessed cherry orchards producing tons of fruit for decorative use, maraschino cherries, canneries rejecting perfectly edible food for cosmetic imperfections, sugar beet fields producing more than German regions, school lunch programs serving children milk and hot meals daily. Prisoners working near schools learned that some cafeterias even sold ice cream, while German children faced hunger. In American diners, democratic equality minimum security POWs taken to diners under guard discovered menus that, in Germany, only elites could afford. Hamburger, 25 cents, Coca-Cola, 5 cents, pie slice, 15 cents, ice cream sundae, 25 cents, full dinner, 75 cents. Factory workers and businessmen ate the same food at the same counter. This challenged every belief German soldiers held about class, privilege, and hierarchy. Production statistics. America's industrial reality. 1944 U.S. production. Sugar, 7 million tons. Chocolate cocoa, 380 million pounds. Coca-Cola, 5 billion bottles. Ice cream, 500 million gallons. Milk, 119 billion pounds. German production, same period. Sugar, heavily rationed. Chocolate, military priority only. Soft drinks, minimal. Ice cream, virtually non-existent. Milk, severely rationed. These numbers appeared openly in American newspapers, further demolishing Nazi claims. Sending food to Germany, the ultimate reversal. By late 1944, German POWs in America were sending food packages home, not receiving them. Using camp wages, they bought chocolate, instant coffee, and canned goods to mail to starving families. International Red Cross records confirm 11 million parcels were sent to Germany by prisoners. This reversal shattered Nazi propaganda more completely than any speech. American rationing, luxury. Compared to Germany, even rationed, Americans consumed more than Germans dreamed possible. Sugar ration, 2 pounds monthly per American. Meat ration, 28 ounces weekly. Milk widely available. OPA records show Americans consumed 74 pounds of sugar per capita in 1944, 10 times German consumption. Soft drinks, a universe of choice beyond Coca-Cola. POWs discovered America's soft drink marvel. Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, RC Cola, Orange Crush, and dozens of regional brands. Mass production, standardized bottling, and nationwide distribution revealed an industrial system Germans could not imagine. Spring 1945. The final blow. Newsreels showed GIs distributing chocolate and gum to German children. While Germany delivered starvation, Americans delivered sweets, even in enemy territory. The contrast completed the ideological collapse. Returning home, transforming Germany. Between 1945 and 1946, POWs returned to a ruined Germany. Many had gained weight in captivity while their families starved. They brought home Red Cross parcels, chocolate, coffee, canned goods. Former POWs became some of the strongest supporters of the Marshall Plan. They had seen firsthand that American prosperity was productive, not exploitative. These men helped build West Germany's economic miracle, applying lessons learned from mass production, standardization, distribution networks, consumer abundance, industrial democracy. The taste of democracy. Countless testimonies capture the transformation. A former Africa Corps officer, 1975. We expected a weak America. Instead, we found a nation that could give ice cream to enemies. That was when we realized that we had lost more than a war. We had lost our worldview. Another POW, interviewed in 1985. My first Coca-Cola was like drinking the future. Sweet, fizzing, unnecessary, and available to anyone for a nickel. That drink contained everything Nazi Germany wasn't. The final lesson. German POWs became witnesses to an undeniable truth. Democracy defeated fascism not only with weapons, but with abundance. The ice cream sundae, ice cream, syrup, whipped cream, nuts, cherry, was more than a dessert. To German prisoners, it was a metaphor for a society capable of creating luxury for everyone, even enemies. They had arrived believing in German superiority and American weakness. They left understanding that American strength came from freedom, productivity, and generosity. In the end, bottles of Coca-Cola and dishes of ice cream achieved what armies alone could not, the complete transformation of enemy hearts and minds. German POWs became unlikely ambassadors of democracy, transformed forever by the impossible reality of Coca-Cola and ice cream in American prison camps.